Welcome to the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship presented by Monster Energy. The Magic Weekend is the mecca for rallycross fans. Some 45,000 of them will converge on the normally sleepy village of Holjes, where the emphasis will be on partying, fun, and more partying. The weird and wonderful sights of Happy Street won't feature too much on the drivers' radar though, as they look to take the win on one of the truly classic rallycross tracks, putting them in the company of rallycross legends. Amazingly, Holjes takes us into the second half of a hectic 10-round season, but there is a chance for the drivers to catch their breath after Sweden, with a 4-week gap before heading across the pond to Canada. Holjes is situated in the stunning surroundings of the farmland region, an area with rich motorsport history, and despite the seemingly hardcore party atmosphere, the fans here harbour a wealth of racing knowledge. Last time out in hell, things didn't start to get crazy until the heavens opened, moments before the semi-finals. That deluge would give us some of the most unpredictable racing we've seen all year. Semi-final 1 and row 3 suddenly became the pick of the start positions. Gulan Shisharik catapulting from back to front in the blink of an eye, but that's as good as it got. Tagged by Timo Timosjanov and finished off by Timo Scheider, the GCK man's chances were over, as were Scheider's. The impressive returning Niklas Gronholm had taken TQ and kept clear of the chaos, but behind him Timosjanov and debutant Kevin Abbring fought the conditions and each other hard. Abbring eventually won the battle for a final slot along with Yanis Balmanis, the Latvian mugging Timosjanov on the very last lap. Semi 2 and Liam Dorn only made it to the grid thanks to the exclusion of Rokas Baciuska, but took full advantage of that P6 grid position to rocket into the Joker ahead of Anton Markland and Timmy Hansen. On the standard lap, Kevin Hansen was struggling for grip and holding up the frustrated Andreas Backward. Dorn and co were soon on their bumpers, leaving the leaders no choice but to carry on and try to pull out a gap. That gap never came, and come the merge on the final lap, Kevin Hansen ruthlessly edged out his brother to take the last spot in the final behind Markland and Doran. For Backward, the dream of a home win was over. The final continued in the same unpredictable manner. Doran again leading the charge into the Joker, while Abbring learning quickly squeezed past Gronholm to take the lead. Kevin Hansen also barged through, demoting the poleman to third. Gronholm couldn't find a way back past Hansen, and it looked like a sensational win for Abbring was on the cards. But as the laps ticked by, Doran and Markham began to close. Abbring responded, but the game was up. It was now Doran in the chair for a first World RX victory. Then disaster. The gear stick broke off in the hands of the British bomb. Markland didn't need asking twice as he took the lead and brought it home for the first ever win for him and GCK. Or so he thought. First, the stewards switched Hansen and Gronholm's places for that push-to-pass move in turn 2. Then a worrying wait in scrutineering for the GCK machine looked ominous. The McGann failed post-event technical checks, and the decision was made to disqualify Markland from the whole event. Heartbreak for Markland, victory for Gronholm, but it wasn't the way he wanted to take it.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. In the qualifying, I managed to have good launches and do my own races. Semi-final still was okay. We had the speed, and I was really determined to come out on top. I knew we would have the good pace also on wet because of the semi-final speeds, but we messed up the launch. Anyway, after some penalties, we got the win. It was a good event, going through to the final, fighting pretty hard with Liam, and then it was just celebrating for 1.5 laps because I knew I would have my first victory in World RX. We did win the event, that's my feeling, but we didn't bring the trophy home, and it was because of a small breach of the regulations. The front bumper mounting was 0.46 millimeters too thick. That's not any performance gain, it didn't make our car quicker, but as well we did break the regulations, and by that we need to have a punishment, and we did get it. For me it was maybe a bit harsh. It's not the same thing to win like that. It just doesn't feel right. That's not the way I want to win, but we take it and try to do it the right way here. I don't really need to play it safe anymore for the championship, but for sure what we will do is to really go all in on winning events and really showing the full potential of the car in every single event that's left of the season.
In the Drivers' Championship, Timmy Hansen has a mere 1 point lead over brother Kevin, while Andreas Backrud is a further 14 points back and needs a strong second half of the season to close the gap. Gronholm's win puts him level with teammate Timo Timosjanov. In the team standings, GRX Tanako closed to within 19 points of Team Hansen MJP and have increased the gap to the RX Cartel team. The disqualification from Hell means GC Competition have their work cut out to make the top 3. Team Hansen MJP hit the second half of the season on top of the Rallycross world, leading both the teams and drivers' standings, with both drivers having tasted victory. An enviable position for a team principal to be in, unless, of course, your drivers are brothers and you're their dad.
Timmy and Kevin are working with the team. They also know behind the scene. They are not only drivers, that means that they are more into the teamwork. So it's not only their own success, it's also the success for the team, which means that even if the brother is in front, it's quite okay because the team is succeeding. We want to take the best out of both of them. The only thing we say is that they need to have respect for each other, so we're not causing, troubles in the same way. But I think we kind of seen also in Norway and in the Spa, for example, they really rate each other, and both of them want to win. But not putting a pin in the wheel for ourselves, destroy the races. So that's an important thing. And if we will go to the last race and we have a, say, 1 point difference, yeah, that would be quite some nerve battle there. But anyway, we will race them to the end.
Sweden brings a number of high-class wildcards to the starting grid, including Euro RX champion Reinis Nittisch. But most Swedish eyes will be on this man, Kevin Eriksson, World RX race winner and owner of the most famous move in RX history. Could he be the man to give the home fans a reason to make even more noise?
I'm eager. I was so bummed when I saw there was no free practice already on Friday. So, no, I've done one supercar race this year in Rally X Nordic here, just to test for this race. I won that, so I miss the feeling of driving a supercar. I miss the feeling of being in the World Championship. I've been in three straight years. I've been here, and it's been something missing. So I'm really happy to be back.
As the drivers make their final checks, let's take a look at the layout of the classic Holjes circuit, the holy grail of rallycross tracks. Sweden has been on the calendar since the start of the World Championship in 2014, and of course plenty of European events prior to that. It's a 60-40 asphalt dirt split, anti-clockwise, and it's a proper roller coaster. We ride on board with Reinis Nittisch off the start line, freshly resurfaced this year, onto the dirt where the grip level changes immediately. Crest right, the car goes light through here. Now you get to choose whether you go Joker or Standard. Nittisch goes straight into the Joker, rotates the car nicely, pop the curb on the left and the right. Here you merge with the cars who come over the jump on the exit of turn 2. Use the curb on the left and a bigger curb on the right. Now there's extra track width over this crest. Take the car over to the right-hand side and then in towards the apex through the fantastic banked velodrome corner. On the throttle, laying down 600 horsepower, pull gears past another new curb on the left. Classic Holjes now down the hill, 6th gear into the right-hander, down a couple of gears, pop the curb again, up and over the big jump. Get it landed on the brakes, down the gears, into the hairpin, and then it's feathering the throttle around to take the finish line. The classic opening ceremony at Holjes, and an explosive session to come. Kevin Hansen, starting on the outside of the grid, suffered with a short trip into the gravel trap at the start of his race. Bachuska was leading until he made this mistake, and he lost enough time to give the lead to Kevin Hansen. He took the win in race 1. His brother Timmy started from the same slot, further into the gravel trap, but landing from the jump on the exit of turn 2, he pushes the tyre off the rim. From then on, the World Championship leader just went backwards. Sebastian Eriksson making moves up through the field, but it was Raymond who won the race. Race 3, and it was more of the same. This time, Kevin Eriksson fully into the gravel trap and fully lit. Eriksson chased down the positions, De Ridder with more car problems, seemingly no change of luck for him. Kalliokoski takes the win, and Schiescherich was punished for this drive-through on Timo Scheider. Reinis Nitish, though, was the biggest loser in turn 1. Sideways, over the curb, a huge roll into the gravel trap for the Latvian. His teammate Tim Asjanov went fastest so far. We ride on board with Doran, allowing his teammate Backerud through into the lead in turn 1, while Kevin Abring was pushed wide by Markland. Doran beat Gronholm to the merge, but Gronholm got him back at the velodrome. Backerud took the win and went fastest in Q1. For his teammate Liam Doran, though, the drama didn't finish at the finish line. He ended the session in the wall. On to Q2, torrential rain before the start, and the grids were reversed. Andreas Backerud got the whole shot, nobody got near him, and he held on for the checkered flag, but the track was drying. Markland got the lead in his race. Despite those changing conditions, it still wasn't easy. Sebastian Eriksson dropped it in the Joker lap, and Liam Doran dropped it at high speed coming down the hill. Markland had no such problems. Timmy Hansen desperately needed a good start after his disastrous Q1. He lost out. He fought his way back through the field during the course of the race, but Kevin Abring was pushing really hard out front. Hansen had a moment of his own, and Abring took the win from Timmy. The final race of the day, and Reinis Nitish's team had worked miracles to get the car on the grid. He led Shisharit from the start, and despite the Joker strategy being different, they finished nose to tail. Unbelievably, Nitish wins Q2, but it's Backerud who's the overnight TQ.
For Q1 we put on new tires on and new pucks, and we gave it all, and we were all of a sudden P1, so it changed fast when the conditions changed a little bit. We kept on the overall lead for day 1, so for sure very happy with that. It's great to be back here in Holjes, the Magic Weekend. Hopefully we can do much better here. I would love to spray some champagne at the end of the weekend.
Despite that run in the rain, then in Q2, Backerud at the top of the table from Markland, Abring, Eriksson and Nitish, who all benefited from dry track. Shisharit too, Sebastian Eriksson, Timo Scheider, Kevin Hansen, Gronholm, Tim Asjanov and Paye are in the top 12. The World Championship leader, Timmy Hansen, is in 16th.
Well, the big story heading into Q3 is championship leader Timmy Hansen is currently outside the semi-final positions. Timmy, talk us through how tricky qualifyings 1 and 2 were.
Yeah, it was a difficult first day, but practice went amazing. Like, the car felt great. I was enjoying the circuit, and we were fastest in practice, so I had good confidence coming into Q1. But it all ended already in turn 1, where I think someone got on my inside and pushed me out into the sand, and when I went into the sand I got the left rear puncture. So from there on it was just to take the car to the finish, and that's not the start you wanted. But then in Q2 everything was kind of reset, so everyone who had a bad first quali had a good dry session for the second quali, and the opposite. So I'm 16th, which means we can't make any mistakes at all, and we'll miss the semi. But also I only have 5 points up to P2, so it's super close, and that also means if we do a good job today, it can be a brilliant day. So we have 2 qualifyings now to put everything together and grab this race and get back in the fight.
And the thing that could change everything again today is the weather. I mean, it looks like it's drying up, but you can never predict that.
Yeah, it's super unpredictable weather today. So we just have to watch the skies, and one shower in the wrong moment can change everything. So, but you only have the conditions you have when you are on track, and you can't change if the others have better or worse. So, when on track, you just have to adapt to what's there, and that's my focus.
Good luck today, Timmy. Thank you. Let's see if we can grab a quick word with Kevin Hansen over here. Now, Kevin's in 9th at the moment. If we can just jump in, I'll come on this side. Kevin, you're currently in the semi-final positions, but what do you have to do now to make sure you secure a place?
I think today it's all restarted. I have like 3-4 points to P2, and I have like 3-4 points to be completely in the bottom of the field. So I will go maximum today. We have a bit of rain this morning, and I think it will dry up during the day. So we have 2 really, really good cars, and we need to secure a place in the front rows. So Andreas is out in the front at the moment, and he's just behind us in the standing. So we will keep pushing and try to get a good result.
And obviously, just quickly, we know this is a family team, and of course you and Timmy are 1 and 2 in the championship. What's the strategy like? Will you compete against each other or will you work together?
I think this team is unique because finally there's a team that actually can use the driving together in a really good way. This family team is all about making sure we two get as far as possible, and I think that's why we are so strong.
Thank you.
Hello, my name's Andrew Coley. Joining me on commentary this weekend is Dan Rook. I'm reporting from the paddock and the pre-grid, Neil Cole. Here are the standings as we head into Q3. Andreas Backward, the overnight TQ from Markland, Abring, Kevin Eriksson, Reinis Nittis, Schischrit, Sebastian Eriksson and Timo Scheider. Kevin Hansen, Gronholm, Timosjanov and Fabian Paye in at the minute. Timmy Hansen in 16th. Sunday morning and heavy rain during the night and again in the morning meant that the track was super slippery. Timosjanov flying out front, and unfortunately for him, he was disqualified for hitting track markers during the course of the race. Ollie Bennett continuing to struggle, having not had too much seat time this weekend. Yanis Baumanis sliding wide with De Ridder going through and a quick clatter on the barriers. Timo took the win, but as I say, disqualified for hitting those trackside markers. Race 2, Niklas Gronholm with a not great start on board with Liam Doran trying to come round the outside into turn 1. Managed to get the whole shot, but then tapped by Kevin Hansen. Sideways into the gravel, and the British bomb was spun all the way around. Off the back of the pack, lucky not to get a puncture. Kevin Hansen, meanwhile, with a fantastic drive in the wet to take the checkered flag. Race 3, overnight TQ man Andreas Backward got the whole shot, while behind him Cyril Raymond spanned the Clio in turn 1. Christian Sabo went standard lap with Backward. Backward had no problems during his run, while Sabo had a technical issue which spanned the car around. Backward, fastest so far. Here we go then, race 4, Q3. The track continues to dry. Will these guys be able to go faster than current leader Andreas Backward? Timo Scheider, 8th after Q2. Linnemann looked down in 18th, but had a reasonable run yesterday in Q2. Fabian Paye, Sebastian Eriksson and Kevin Eriksson. Sebastian and Kevin are both inside the top 7 at the minute. All on wets. It's the latest version of the OMSE Fiesta on the outside of the grid. Those guys, I'm sure, will play it safe. Green light, 3 clutch dips there. Scheider's going to get it on the run down. Oh, Kevin Eriksson moves across on Linnemann. All 3 of these cars run by MSE. So Kevin Linnemann into the side of Sebastian Eriksson. Sebastian Eriksson goes joker. Linnemann having a look up the inside. But it is Kevin Eriksson who is on the standard lap behind Timo Scheider. Scheider, who is currently sitting in 7th, 8th place overnight.
Yeah, so a bit of a messy start there from the OMSE guys. They're going to be kicking themselves when they go back to the tent. All 3 of the supercars they're running this weekend in the one race, and they've all contact between the 3 of them.
If they're not kicking themselves, Andreas will be kicking them, won't he? Won't be very happy with that. I'm sure he's in the spotters town next door to us now, shouting at them on the radio. But Scheider in P8. He was at our hotel this morning, sat with him during breakfast. He was saying how he felt yesterday Q1 was just crazy, probably the craziest session he'd been in with just how much carnage there was in turn 1. Yeah, he was happy to be P8 because he's one of the guys who's had 2 pretty reasonable results, and he drops it. As I say that, Scheider drops it in the same place as Cyril Raymond. Gonna have to spin the car round. Oh, it's a disaster for Timo Scheider, and now I think he stalled the car in first gear. So Timo Scheider, just as we were saying, he'd had 2 good results yesterday, has spun the car in turn 1, and that means Kevin Eriksson leads. So Kevin Eriksson leads from Paye. Neither of these guys are joking. And Sebastian Eriksson is only 2.5 off the back of them.
Yeah, Sebastian is on a mission here to gain up on the back of them, and we saw pace from him yesterday in practice, actually only a 10th behind Timmy Hansen in dry conditions. But it's interesting to see what the car can do here. I'm not looking forward to the merge because I'm not going to know which one's in front.
No, good shout. Yeah, that is a good shout. So it's 2.7 now. The gap's gone up by 2 tenths. So they might keep Kevin out for another lap and see if he can. Now it's down by 5, so it's 2.2 seconds now. Kevin Eriksson is going to go standard lap, and Sebastian Eriksson is on the back of this train already. At the minute, he'd take it by a second, according to our Joker predictor.
Yeah, Sebastian Eriksson's just got it hooked up, hasn't he? You can see the car control of him. He's drifting the car into the left-hander there, but he's doing a fantastic job. He hardly really drives, does he, through the year, and then shows up for a one-off world event, and this is why he can deliver.
Well, he's absolutely amazing. This is a bit like Weeman, isn't it? You know, there's so many good rallycross drivers out there. We'd love to see a few more of them with a budget to be able to compete at this high level. Sebastian Eriksson led the final here on his World RX debut in 2014. He broke the car on that very corner that he's just gone through. The gap is 2.6. So Eriksson leading from Paye. Sebastian Eriksson chasing Kevin down, and Paye, this has fallen into Kevin Eriksson's hands now because Paye is in the way of Sebastian Eriksson. Look at the gap that's built up. Going to be close between them. Kevin Eriksson goes Joker. Fabian Paye has not gone Joker lap, but he's missed it, surely.
Yeah, last lap.
And he still gets through, so Sebastian Eriksson still manages to get through.
This is going to be hurting his time now. He's got a dirty windscreen, which he didn't before, which impacts his visibility, but also just a car right in the way.
And Paye with the cardinal sin has missed the Joker, and that means Sebastian Eriksson, although he's got Kevin, as you say, he's losing time, and I reckon if you look at that gap went up by a second, he could lose 2 or 3 seconds on his overall time here, so not what he needed. Sebastian and Kevin will be careful through the final corner. Ignore Paye, he's going to get a 30-second penalty. Checker flags out, he'll be disappointed now, but Sebastian Eriksson beats Kevin Eriksson. Sebastian Eriksson's time is at 3:29.0. So it's not enough. He goes in 5th place, and I'm not sure that even if he'd had clear track, they would have made the difference up. Scheider with that spin in turn 1. So he was feeling confident this morning, but that's not what he needed. Timo in P8, but I say all to play for. P3 to P22, 14 qualifying points across it. We've had some people have been out in the wet already. Some are going to go slightly drier. You're just going to have to check the standings, and you're going to have to stay with us for Q4 later on. Sebastian Eriksson then takes it from Kevin Eriksson. Linnemann in 3rd place. Scheider 4th. Fabian Paye, 30-second penalty for missing the Joker. Here's where they slot in. So the top 4 look quicker than both of the Erikssons. How much were they held up?
Sebastian, a great drive by you, but your Joker strategy was perfect, but a shame to get stuck behind Fabian.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shame. It worked out quite nice to go Joker the first lap, but unfortunately forgot to take the Joker, so I was a little bit held up on the last lap. But still, I think the track is getting slippier and slippier for each run, so we will see what times they will do in the heat up.
Thank you, well done.
Here we go then, final race of Q3. On the inside, Q2 winner Reinis Nitic up to 5th after that rolling Q1, incredible. Gulan Schiesser at 6th, Kevin Abbring in 3rd, another brilliant result for him. Markland is 2nd, but Timmy Hansen, the World Championship leader, is down in P16. The rain has started falling again. The track, we think, is maybe going backwards in terms of grip levels. It was greasy because it wasn't wet enough. Now it's raining again. We're going to see what happens here. Kevin Abbring tips the clutch to Timmy Hansen with a great start. Nitic up the inside, so Nitic gets past Schiesser. Timmy Hansen backs them up through turn 1. Reinis Nitic going to follow him surely. Schiesser goes Joker, Kevin Abbring goes with him. Anton Markland's gone on a standard lap, so tidy work between Timmy Hansen and Schiesser. Abbring there following Schiesser out of the Joker lap.
For me, I don't think Abbring really wanted to be following Schiesser into the Joker lap. He was behind him as they were going towards the standard lap and went to dip out, but Schiesser went with him as well, so maybe the GCK guys realising what would be happening with the ES guys and getting in there out of the way.
You can see the dirt there down on the exit of Velodrome that's in the road, which is where the cars are going really sideways just before that new curve. Nitic, I think, good decision to follow Timmy. So Nitic, yes, although he won Q2, Schiesser was right with him, and we know this car, the Hyundai, is very, very capable. So Nitic, not with as much seat time as these other guys, won't be bad for him to be behind Timmy.
No, it will play into his hands because, you know, Timmy isn't a slow driver. He's in the World Championship as he goes to the Joker lap now.
So that must be to protect from Schiesser behind. Reinis Nitic has gone Joker. What are they? So Schiesser, it's actually a long way behind. That's interesting. So Nitic has gone early. For me, he was losing a bit of time to Timmy. He still had time behind. That's a surprising decision. Dan, what are your thoughts?
I think maybe they've got him in there so that he's got that little bit of clear track, because as we were riding on board with him, as we're going to ride on with Markland now, but you can see the spray and lots of mud there. From going on the inside of the curb, the new curb, as they exit the velodrome. But when you're riding that close behind someone where Nitish was with Timmy, the mud spray is so distracting. So getting Nitish in the Joker has given him a little bit of a clearer windscreen.
Here we go. Listen for Markland's throttle. And then full gas on the exit now. So Nitish, the leader of the three cars that have jokered. Timmy Hansen hoping for a good result here, because I say it's P16. Markland goes joker, so Markland's gone now. Hansen versus Nitish on your predictor. But we're looking at Nitish versus Markland, so Nitish has got Markland. And at the minute, Timmy Hansen would still lead according to our predictor, so we thought he was edging Nitish just slightly. Markland was gaining on Rainis. So I wonder if they sent Rainis, because they could see Markland's lap times.
In Sector 1, Rainis took half a second out of Timmy on this lap.
Oh, Markland sideways! Just about holds on. Damn, that is so slippery there with the dirt on the tarmac. Skills from Markland to hang on to that. Look at the dirt flying in the background. Shisha, it makes a mistake. Off the side of the track, Ebring is off the back of this pack. He's 8.3 off the leader, Timmy Hansen. What's the gap going to be? It was 3.9, it's 4.3, so Nitish did a good job in Sector 1, but Hansen's nailed it over the rest of the lap. Timmy Hansen through the Joker lap now. He's going to watch those contact points on the outside, misses them perfectly. Nitish over the jump and will slot in pretty much a similar gap that he was behind Timmy before he went Joker.
Yeah, so giving him that bit of clear air didn't quite pay off for him, but like I said in the lap before, blistering Sector 1 and then dropped it for the rest of the lap, so Timmy doing a great job too.
So he has to do a great job. You're looking at the World Championship leader as he feeds the opposite lock-in in fourth, fifth gear, down the hill, grits his teeth, down a gear, 3:24.8. He needs to be there or thereabouts. Got to score big points here. He has to make it through to the semi-finals. Round that long left-hander, he's going to wait on the throttle. The time's gone. The time's gone. Where's Timmy going to be? 3:25.8, he drops into P2. He's only a second off. That's what Timmy Hansen needed. That's maybe going to drag him into the top 12. Nitish takes P2. Markland, Ebring and Shisha complete this race. So Timmy Hansen, what a drive in these tricky conditions. Really well done. There he is. That'll be a big sigh of relief. You can see the look on his face. He knows that's job done. Timmy Hansen takes it from Rainis, Nitish, Anton Markland, Kevin Ebring and Gulan Shisha at 10 seconds splitting the field. Hansen, Nitish and Markland slot in, but the most important thing there for Timmy was to get up close to Bakkerud. That's going to give him a big haul of points, and it might see him into the top 12.
Timmy, that's exactly what you needed. Second quickest in the session, but it looks very slippery out there.
Yeah, it's super tricky. Holjes in the wet is super difficult. Every corner is completely new grip level. Even entry, middle, exit, it can vary how much grip you have. So it's so hard to be fast around here. This was quite a safe run for me because I knew we were in the lead, and obviously after yesterday we were 16th overall. But yeah, now P2. I think now we are in the game again, and yeah, it feels great with a good result.
Well done, Tack.
Thank you.
Here are the standings at the end of Q3, and what a difference a session makes. Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen were in. Well, Kevin was in P9 and Timmy was in P16. Those results have catapulted them up to second and third. The World Championship leader and P2 man are right up there with Andreas Bakkerud, who holds on to his TQ. And look at the points on the right. Bakkerud, I think, pretty much guaranteed TQ here at Holjes. Markland is fourth, Gronholm fifth, Nitish in sixth, Sebastian Eriksson and Kevin Eriksson. So we've got three drivers in the top 8 there who are not World Championship regulars. Bachuska, Kevin Ebring's just hanging on in P10 there with Shisharit. Baumanis is in. Plenty of people still hoping that they might find a slot here at the famous Holjes circuit. As always, we've got some fantastic slow motion pictures for you. Holjes providing some brilliant track action. This is Scheider over the jump, which is on the exit of turn 2, Dan.
Yeah, so able to watch how well the suspension works on these cars, and Holjes really does deliver the most out of these cars in terms of suspension work.
Yeah, it tests them hard, doesn't it? You can see there Scheider landing the jump, then across the dirt using the curb on the left-hand side, then the curb on the right-hand side. This right-hander super, and it's a roller coaster too of up and down.
Yeah, there are so many blind corners on this track, and it's one of the most fun tracks to drive.
But one of the hardest to master. This is Ericsson, Sebastian Ericsson coming through the Joker. That is about as close as you can get to that marker on the inside. If you clip it once, you get a warning. If you clip it twice, you get a penalty. Ericsson not using as much road as we've seen, though, on the exit.
No, so maybe the way he took the more curve there meant he had a tighter line for the exit.
Dirt had been dragged across this section of the track in the run-up to the event. Expecting to see that develop during the course of the weekend. This is Andreas Backerud over the jump. And the EKS car, I have to say, does a great job of squashing the landing.
Yeah, fantastic job. I spoke to some of the EKS guys, and they said they'd been here testing with Matthias, doing all sorts of suspension stuff, and you can just see from our slow-mo footage here how well that's worked out.
Backerud through the left hand. You can see a little bit of left foot brake in the middle of the corner, just to rotate the car a bit, and then Dan trying to make sure that you get the maximum traction on the exit.
Yeah, so getting the rotation early through the corner and then having the car facing as straight as he can on the way out.
Markland flying the jump. Also suspension developments on that car, and you can see squashes it nicely. Going to rotate the big McGann into the left. We saw Backerud win here in the Focus. We know that that car was good in hell, and they'd expected this car to be good. There it was, of course, took the win until the DQ, gutting for Markland. But I think it's going to go well here too.
Yeah, we've seen pace increasing from Markland all the time, so I would not be surprised if we see a really good performance from him.
Towards the sharp end, Kevin Abring, another person who did very well indeed in Norway with the ES Motorsport Skoda through the final corner. Lots for him to learn coming to a brand new track. And finally, Niklas Gronholm. Incredible performances from him during qualifying in Norway. That car is mega. Can he take the win at the Classic at Holjes? Just one session left of qualifying at Holjes for round 6 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship, and it is Andreas Backerud who sits in the TQ spot. Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen moving up to P2 and P3 after that fantastic Q-through run. Markland, Gronholm, Nitish, Ericsson. There's Bachuska, Abring, Shisha and Baumanis currently making the cut. Everyone else looking for a spot. Timosyanov in the first race of Q4 needed a brilliant result after being disqualified from Q3. He got the whole shot despite a tap in turn 1 and held on. On the very same lap while leading, Timo cut the curb too much at the bottom of the hill and took the tyre off the rim, turning into the hairpin. Understeer would have told him that it was game over for the weekend. Then Scheider through to take the lead. Sabo on a flyer, hit the barrier, span the car off the track. Scheider over the jump to the finish, but he too was disqualified for track markers. Race 2, Liam Doran and Gulan Shisha on the inside. Shisha at this point in the semis, Liam Doran out. Coming around the outside of them, Cyril Raymond, forcing Liam Doran to go joker on lap 1. Raymond was leading on the standard lap, but look at this, over the crest jump, flicks the car off to the left and rolls out of contention. Doran and Shisha, meanwhile, continued their fight for the entire race. Doran running wide here, Shisha up the inside. Doran managing to hold on at that point, but Shisha piling the pressure onto the British bomb. Up and over the jump again, he was absolutely mirrors full of McGann. Doran takes it. The track continued to dry and it continued to deliver great action. Kevin Abring from the outside of the grid getting right the way to the inside in turn 1 with Yanis Baumanis just behind him. Abring driving much tidier than he did yesterday. Baumanis jokered early to protect his position from behind. Linneman continuing to fight to try to find a space in the semi-finals. Contact at the joker merge, but Abring set a fantastic time. Coming towards the closing stages of qualifying at Holjes. Q4, race 4. Guillaume de Ridder, 22nd after Q3, had a good run in Q3 to get into this race. He definitely won't make it through to the semis from there, but what can he do against the likes of Anton Markland, Sebastian Eriksson, Kevin Eriksson and Rokas Pachuska? Look at that, 4th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Pachuska has gone for new tyres. Sebastian Eriksson's got a couple on there. So Sebastian Eriksson is middle of the grid, Kevin Eriksson on his outside. Teammates 1 point apart in terms of the qualifying.
Jump start,
Yeah.
Kevin Eriksson, I think. Yeah.
You think it was?
Yeah, Eriksson.
Here it is.
Well,
Him and Sebastian were both creeping, weren't they? I don't think Markland would have seen that from there looking at the lights. I think he's reacted to the jump start lights flashing. Restart time for Q4, race 4. Kevin Eriksson, 4th from your left with a jump start. Has to get it right this time. He does get it right, but it's Sebastian Eriksson in the middle of the grid who's got the best start of all. Slots in front of Markland. Contact there between de Ridder and Kevin Eriksson in the background. Sebastian Eriksson going to go standard lap. Kevin Eriksson goes joker. Markland's gone in front of him though. Pachuska in front of Guillaume de Ridder on the standard lap.
Sebastian Eriksson there had an absolutely amazing start. He was just pulled a car width already, and unfortunately for Kevin having to do 2 joker laps, he could be on terms with his teammate in this race.
We know that Markland is quick, because we've seen how quick Shisha is, so hopefully Kevin Eriksson won't be held up too much, and of course if he is, he can joker again with his penalty joker, but Sebastian Eriksson wheeled right out into the dirt on the outside. He would love to avenge that result that he had here when he was leading the World Championship on his debut. No one has ever won a World Championship round on their debut. We had Kevin Abring very nearly did it last weekend in Hell, the last race meeting. On board with Markland, Kevin Eriksson is behind him. Will Kevin go second joker here to get a bit of space? He does. Kevin Eriksson takes his second joker, so Eriksson then getting them both out the way at the start of the run.
Yeah, very smart move there, especially because nobody else did a joker lap on lap 2, so he's not got a risk of being behind anyone else other than Markland, who he was already behind, so he can really close the gap now.
His decision or the spotter, you think?
I would have said a spotter, because he's not going to know who's joking in front of him because he's that little bit further back.
That's why you need a good spotter, because they're making these decisions very quickly. Sebastian Eriksson sideways through that dirt patch. It's going to be costing them a few tenths here and there. Still leads. What are the lap times like, Dan?
44.3 for Sebastian Eriksson's the EDOC's fastest lap of the day so far. So great job by the OMSE team.
Fantastic development on that car. 21 points on the car. Andreas Eriksson said that he wanted to fix it. He says he's fixed 19 of them. What's it going to be like when he does the other 2? It's the engine and the dampers, if you're wondering. Guillaume de Ridder showing good pace here. Another shocking weekend for him. Guillaume's such a lovely bloke. He really is. He works for Renault's Formula 1 team, doesn't he?
Yeah.
On board with Markland down the hill. Listen to that. You hear the revs come up as the wheels go light over the crest into the right. Wait for the jump. Lands it. We saw Sheestreet's car was brilliant over the jump.
Yeah, this the McGann flies really well as he's run wide on the exit of the hairpin. I think he maybe caught the dirt that's been swept out into the track and made him have Terminal 1 to steer.
Sebastian Eriksson misses the barriers on both sides. That is a perfect joker lap for me from Sebastian Eriksson. Pachuska coming in front of Markland. So Pachuska's in P2 at the moment on board with Markland looking forward. Pachuska, of course, in the third McGann, but running with the Academy team. Markland through the left. What can Sebastian Eriksson do with the times, though? The target time is Kevin Abring, 3:05.067. You're on board with Markland. We're looking for the finish. Here it is. Sebastian Eriksson going to come round. He's deep on the brakes. He's going to get the car straight early through the dirt. Aims for the line on the outside. It's enough. 3:03.541. Sebastian Eriksson goes fastest so far in Q4. He was in P7, and that could rocket him up the order. Kevin Eriksson finishes in the background, having done those 2 jokers. Eriksson 3:14.3. 10th place, we think, so far, with 5 cars still to come. We're looking at the screen because we're getting plenty of warnings about track markers and so on. Sebastian Eriksson takes it from Rokas Pachuska, Guillaume de Ridder, Anton Mark and Kevin Eriksson. Eriksson goes fastest, Abring second, Pachuska third. So Sebastian Eriksson's done a great job there. Rokas Pachuska as well. We're looking to move up from P9. Markland's been given a 5-second penalty.
For a second track marker.
So Marken dropping down the order, and there we go.
Sebastian, that looked like it was almost the perfect race for you. How did it feel?
It was good. Finally, I got a good launch, and that's the key, I think, now. And also the track is getting a little bit better, I think, for every session. But I had a clean run. I'm a little bit afraid of the dirt that is in the last turn. That will cost too much time, but I try to push as hard as I can, and we will see what the time is.
Well done, thank you.
Final race of qualifying from Holjes. Andreas Backerud in the TQ spot, chased by Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen, his championship rivals. Niklas Gronholm in 5th and Reinis Nittisch in 6th. New boots for Nittisch, 2 new boots for Gronholm. We know how fast those Hyundais are. There's Marcus Gronholm watching his son Niklas. Marcus raced a buggy here on Friday. He was in fine form. Never up in the spotters tower, always watching somewhere secretly. We found him. Ready to race. What's Gronholm going to do? Can Nittisch do anything from the outside? And will it be the usual suspects? Great start across the grid. Gronholm's gone backwards. Nittisch with a fantastic start. Timmy shuts the door on Backerud. Contact with Gronholm. Backerud's up on the curbs on the inside. Drops to P5. Kevin Hansen goes around the outside. Reinis Nittisch leads. Timmy Hansen goes with him. Gronholm's gone joker over the jump. Comes Backerud. He's now got a bit clearer in front. Backerud lost out at the start, but he's got some space down. He's got to try and catch up to that front pack.
Yeah, Backerud's really got to push hard now to try and catch up. He wants that TQ spot from the Hansen brothers, and at the minute he's got Timmy in front of him and Kevin behind him, and Kevin's already jokered and he's already within the reaching distance of Backerud, so he needs a big old push.
Nittisch with a few steering inputs into the fast right-hander, runs out wide onto the dirt. Is that going to compromise on the brakes? It doesn't. So Reinis Nittisch, the European Rallycross champion, who rolled in Q1 but won Q2. Timmy Hansen really late on the throttle on the exit. Is that dirt in that corner, Dan?
Yeah, there's lots of dirt being kicked out in the last corner, and he had so much understeer as he just hit it, so he had to be so patient on the throttle compared to what he wants to be.
So Backerud can't get away from Kevin Hansen and Gronholm. Looking at the points, I think Backerud will hold the TQ anyway. As long as he doesn't have a disaster, he's just got to make sure he's there or thereabouts. He won't mind holding Kevin up, that's for sure, behind him. So I reckon he might wait until the end of the race. Reinis Nittisch is in P6 at the minute. Gronholm's in 5th, so I don't know if he'll be able to move up from there. He's in 5th overall, and he's in 5th in this race. But Nittisch is 6th overall. Good result here. He'd love a front row, and Anton Marken, we know, has been dropped down. So can Nittisch get on the front row?
It would be amazing if we saw Nittisch on the front row, roll in Q1 and then a win in Q2. We can ride on board with him. He looks very relaxed, doesn't he? His eyes are, he's just laser focused on what the job in hand.
Backerud into the joker. Gronholm trying to find a way past Kevin, but he can't quite do it. Andreas is careful of those markers. Runs a wheel up over the curb, but not too far. Nittisch up and over the crest. Timmy Hansen behind. I tell you what, I expected Timmy to be putting Nittisch under a bit more pressure, because yesterday Nittisch came under pressure in his race, and I wasn't sure he was fully into the car, but he seems fully into it now, Dan.
Yeah, he's finally come at one with the car. Of course, a knock of confidence in Q1, but he's bounced back and he is looking very strong.
Gronholm with a big jump up behind gives Kevin Hansen a little nudge over the dirt section there, waiting on the throttle. I thought Gronholm might find traction on the inside, but he can't. We're on to the last lap then. Here we go. Gronholm sideways through turn 1. Nittisch into the joker. Watch for Kevin on the inside. It's going to be close on the merge. Kevin Hansen versus Reinis Nittisch. Kevin's got him. Nittisch slots into P2. Through the right-hander now. Gronholm is into 3rd, and Timmy Hansen dumped down to 4th place. So Hansen was in P2 in quali. He'll probably stay up there. Will his brother edge him though? Yeah, they're equal on points. So Kevin Hansen is going to out-qualify his brother here at home at Holjes. Going to take a point off him, and that'll put them equal on points going into the semi-finals for the lead of the World Championship. Over the jump, Kevin Hansen, Reinis Nittisch, Gronholm and Timmy Hansen. 3:03.5 is the target time, and they're not going to do it. He runs wide. Nittisch has a look. Kevin takes it from Nittisch, Gronholm, Hansen and Backerud. Couldn't be closer at the end of qualifying, but he's 2.4 seconds faster. Sebastian Eriksson wins Q4, but Kevin Hansen is in front of his brother Timmy. Looking at Gronholm as well, we could see Kevin might have taken the lead in the World Championship there, because Niklas Gronholm's beaten Timmy Hansen. Let's wait and see the standings in a minute. Kevin Hansen takes it from Nittisch, Gronholm, Hansen and Backerud. There's where they slot in Eriksson and Abbring with a P2. What a weapon, brilliant drive. Remember, the top 2 here in Q4, Reinis Nittisch in 4th place. They are not World Championship regulars. 3 of our top 4 are not World Championship regulars. What a drive. So Kevin a little bit sideways off the line, on board with Timmy here. Not going to do anything silly with his brother, backs out and gives Kevin the space, but Nitish is already round the outside of the two of them.
Yeah, I was worried that Rainis might run into a bit of the dirty stuff on the outside of the track and end up in the gravel, but it worked out well for him there. And you can see the dust flying off of the cars as they come around there, the dirty part of the track.
Certainly dried up, hasn't it? But this last corner causing problems, and I think that's potentially where the time was lost to Sebastian Eriksson. Take nothing away from him and Kevin Appring. Brilliant drive by them. Nitish into the joker with Timmy. Look at the gap between them. It looks like nothing, and that's what it is. It's a car at least. So Kevin gets in front. Niklas Gronholm slots in between them. Timmy Hansen dropped down to fourth. Brilliant last race from qualifying.
Great drive, great results, but it still looks like that track is quite tricky.
Yeah, for sure. The line is very narrow. Everything is really greasy still from the rain. But I put together a really good start, took the yoker and could drive my race. I had Niklas really close, so I couldn't go my maximum. But quite okay race. I enjoyed it, and important to get the race win. So nice to be P3 in this race.
And we'll see you in the semi-final.
Yeah, thank you.
Here are the standings then at the end of Q4. Andreas Backrud takes the TQ, but Sebastian Eriksson moves up to second place. Kevin Hansen is in third. Rainis Nitish gets fourth. Timmy Hansen does not get a front row start. So Niklas Gronholm down in sixth, Abbring in seventh, Pachuska is in eighth. Then it's Anton Mock and Janis Baumanes, Kevin Eriksson, Kaliokowski 12th. Look who's missed out. Paye, Shisharit, Doran, Paye. Oh, Sabo hasn't made it. Last Derrida, Raymond German. It's just a list. Timo Scheider, Timurs Yarnov. Wow, there you go. Some of the big names haven't made it. Our championship regulars have, but Kevin Hansen has taken the lead in the World Rallycross Championship with the points he scored in qualifying compared to his brother Timmy. Holjes hosts round 5 of the 2019 RX2 International Series. Oliver Eriksson took another TQ. He's won 4 events in a row. This is what happened in the semi-finals, though. So Eriksson in this first semi-final, taking the whole shot down, but coming under pressure through the entire race. And we were watching this, and we thought maybe an issue with the car early in the race.
Yeah, so he wasn't able to gap the guys like he's normally able to do, and you can see it Grising with a challenge. So maybe Eriksson with a misfire or something doesn't seem to have the straight line speed.
And it got worse. Grising got up the inside, then Eriksson ran wide. A couple of cars got up there, so he doesn't seem to get the luck that he wants at home. He'd love to win that home event. And for Eriksson, who's won all 4 rounds so far, it's not going to happen here in Sweden. Big moment there for Grising. Almost spinning the car. Carnage right the way up to the finish. Great racing, though, between them. Eriksson hanging on to the back of the pack, but it was Osland who took it from Sami-Matti Trojan and Vasily Grising. Semi 2. Fraser McConnell on the outside of the front row. Contact there between Gunderson and Kallio. 4 cars taking the standard lap on the first run. Dan, always brilliant race in RX2.
Yeah, fantastic effort by these guys, and a fantastic drive by Gunderson in this one, choosing to joker slightly early.
So Gunderson coming through over the jump to take it at the merge. Kallio and McConnell slotting in to take the final 2 places in the final. Final time for RX2 at Holjes. Let's take a look at the grid. On the pole, Linus Osland. His father runs this circuit, so this is amazing for him. Can he get the dream win at home? Ben Philip Gunderson next to him on the front row. Row 2, Jesse Kallio and Sami-Matti Trojan, 2 Finns. And row 3, Vasily Grising and Fraser McConnell. So Oliver Eriksson didn't make it through thanks to a broken belt on the engine. Broke at the start. Engine temperature ended up at 140 degrees. So did very well to hold on for as long as he did, but he misses out on the dream win at home. Can Osland get it here instead? Green light, and it looks to me like Gunderson got the better start on the front row, but Osland's still going to be up the inside on the run down to turn 1. Can Gunderson hold on around the outside? He can. So Osland's going to be P2. Will he split and go joker? He doesn't. He goes standard lap. McConnell goes into the the Joker lap, and he's gone in, I think, behind Kallio, has he? Kallio's gone into the Joker too. Gry's in at the back of the train with Sammy Manti-Drogan as well. So Kallio and his teammate of McConnell have gone straight in.
Yeah, fantastic move by Kallio to get in out of the way of the standard lap tussle and try and put in the laps. Now he's in the final, so he doesn't have to worry about being held up by slower cars, so he can just do his own lap times. And Gundersen at the moment is the man out in front, and he beat Kallio in the semi-final to get himself in the front row. So can Kallio turn that around in the final?
Osland, the only Swede racing hero, I'm down, lost out at the start. If he gutted about that, now he's in a tricky situation, because if he doesn't Joker to protect from Kallio, he might not be able to hold on anyway. And if he follows Gundersen for too long, you know, when you go, if you're his spotter, that's the hardest position to be in, because there's people in front and behind. Gry isn't going to come out alongside McConnell, but McConnell's inside. He's going to take the place.
Yeah, fantastic move by McConnell, keeping up with the back of Kallio as he's made a bit of a mistake there. And Gry's trying to find his way through, but can't quite. McConnell's still got the inside line for the velodrome.
Fraser McConnell for Jamaica. Down that back straight, got a great mix of nationalities. There's from a couple of Finns. Gry's in running with a Latvian licence. Jamaica for McConnell, I say Sweden for Osland. But at the minute, it's the Norwegian Gundersen who leads. Got a 0.8 gap on Osland, and the gap back to Kallio is 3.9, 3.8. So Kallio is gaining at the moment. Our Joker lap predictor says that it would go the way of Gundersen, so Gundersen would be in the lead.
Kallio actually matching the lap times of Gundersen, so there's not much between them. But of course, Gundersen was the first into the first corner, and Kallio was a few cars back, so he's already got that advantage over Kallio. But can Kallio find that extra speed he needs?
Drogan has managed to slot in front of McConnell. McConnell, though, has got good pace. He's right behind him. Gundersen, Osland with him. Osland at least will want a podium, Dan. You know, huge pressure here. I imagine he'd be taking the win. I think, though, he needed to take the start if he wanted a chance of that personally.
Yeah, Gundersen is so fast. We've seen so much speed from him all season long, and he's been waiting for that win to come. Can it be here?
He's been quite aggressive as well this weekend. He picked up a penalty at one point for that course. He picked up a penalty back in Barcelona, but this is super clean driving from Ben Philip Gundersen, coming from a touring car background and learning RX2s super quickly to be bang on the pace. Gundersen this year in P4, he took a third in Belgium and he took a second in Norway, so he's been heading in the right direction, but he's got to hold on from Kallio. 4.2 back down. What's the split, do you think, for the Joker, roughly?
I think it's roughly 3 seconds would be, so side by side, might be 3.2 for a comfortable gap, so Gundersen's already got that gap. He could go in now and not risk being held up, but I'd imagine we'll see him wait until the last lap.
McConnell having a look at Drogan. McConnell's going to try and get alongside Sammy Manti-Drogan with pressure from McConnell outside. Contact all the way down to turn one, but McConnell has to give best. Into the Joker lap goes Osland. Osland going to try and hold on. Osland's going to get out in front. He does. So Osland on for a podium at home. Great stuff for him out in front of Kallio. And that tells us all we need to know about the battle, doesn't it? As long as Gundersen doesn't make a mistake here, he's got this. What are you saying to him on the radio? Do you tell him that or not?
Yeah, you need to let him know that, but you also need to let him know not to back off too much, because that gap could come down, but it could all just be one mistake. If he was to go wide, for example, in this last corner, that would be it gone.
Gundersen through the long left-hander. Osland is 3.4 behind, racing at the circuit his father runs. I asked him how many laps do you do when it's shut. He said, I don't talk about that, but I'm sure he doesn't do that many, and either way, you've got to get it done on the day. Osland on the inside, Gundersen through the Joker. He needs to avoid those markers. He does. Gundersen going to shut the door. Osland is there, but he's not close enough.
Gundersen now there with a comfortable lead. He can just start to ease off and relax a little bit now on the last couple corners. He's only got half a lap to go before he's going to come round and see that checkered flag.
So Gundersen managed to take 2 wins last year. He took 1 in Belgium at the start of the season, 1 in South Africa at the end. This year, been a mixed season for him. That DQ cost him big time in Spain. He took a 3rd in Belgium. He took the 2nd in Norway, but Gundersen is going to go 1 better here. It's a Norwegian that wins at Holjes. P2 goes to Osland, racing at home, sends the car sideways. But Gundersen too, almost a jump with him after the line. The red flag man runs out of the way. Fantastic. Osland lost out at the start there, Dan. I wonder, I mean, to me, he had the pace. Looking at the lap times, it was super close. between him and Gundersen. Gundersen takes it at 8 championship points. Osland is second. Kallio, that's actually good news as well for Ollie Eriksson, because he could potentially have had the gap closed down to 10 points here if Kallio had won, and he hasn't. So he's going to keep a gap a little more than 10 points, maybe 12 or maybe 14. Trogan is fourth, McConnell fifth, and Vasily Gryzin P6. So this was off the line, and yeah, for me, Olsen just didn't quite get it. I mean, it wasn't a bad start, was it?
No, it wasn't a bad start, but we know how tricky these RX2s are to get off the line, and Gundersen in this situation managed to get it off much better.
Osland chased him round. I wonder if he'd gone Joker a little bit earlier, but I guess they needed to know he had the gap behind to slot into, so if he'd gone earlier, maybe he would have hit traffic.
Yeah, there was always that risk, and with Sami Matti going on the lap before him, he then had the window to go in.
McConnell tried very hard here to get past Sami Matti Trogan, but had to back out of it once they got to turn one. That was Osland slotting in front of Kallio. So at that point, Kallio knew he wasn't going to get all the points this weekend, but still a great result for him considering that puncher in Q1. And there was the moment where Gundersen slotted in front to secure his first win of the year. Big moment for Osland at the finish, but it's Gundersen who takes the win.
Ben Philip, what a weekend, what a final, and what a place to get your first win of the season.
Yeah, I can't believe it after this weekend with, as I said earlier today, there are so many battles and up and down with the conditions on the track, and yeah, I'm just so happy for this win.
Well done, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, what a win for Gundersen. Only lives an hour away as a Norwegian, so this is pretty much his home event too. But it is Oliver Eriksson who continues to lead, and he does lead by 14 points from Kallio. Fraser McConnell up on 100 points in third. But look, Ben Philip Gundersen with that win closes that gap down to 1. Then it's Sami Matti Trogan, Vasily Gryzin, Simon Olafsson, and Anders Midtjylak. Well, what a weekend so far at Holjes. As you can see, the weather is holding for us as we approach semi-finals and finals time. World RX, of course, with both those to do. European Rallycross Championship for Supercars, just the final left. We'll have a roundup of the semi-finals for you. They were quite carnage, and I'm expecting we're going to see some more fantastic racing as we bring this incredible weekend to a close. Dan, brilliant weekend so far. I mean, Ollie Eriksson will be disappointed to have missed out on the home win in RX2. Gundersen only lives an hour away, so he's going to be pretty pleased with that. But, you know, we've got more to come.
Yeah, I mean, just based off of what we've seen in the qualifying sessions, I'm sure the semi-finals are going to be absolutely fire.
Yeah, definitely. There they are lining up for it. Okay, Neil Cole is down in the pre-grid, and he's managed to get hold of Andreas Backerud, our top qualifier here at Holjes. Here he is.
Andreas, just doing your final preparations before setting off into the semi-final. Give us your thoughts before this race.
Well, to be honest, you can see in the water here that it's coming rain, it stops raining, it comes rain, it stops raining. And to be honest, in this semi-final one, there are so many fast guys, clever guys, good racers, so I think anybody could potentially win it. Hopefully I can take the win here, but it's going to be tight. I think, you know, everyone here, top 6 are good, so I'm going to give it my best.
Now, Holjes is a track you've been very successful at. You seem relaxed. This is a good sign.
Yeah, you know, 13 win, 14, 15, 16 a win, 17, 18, who knows, 19 maybe, I don't know. Do you know?
No. We're about to find out. Thank you, Andreas.
Thank you.
I think Andreas is a little bit nervous there, Daniel. He's never been off the podium here. So look at those guys. They know they want to see on the top step of the podium. The Backerud Blues. Door shuts on Timmy Hansen. He desperately wants the win here after it was taken away when he passed Ekstrom up the inside into the last corner. That infamous Hansen up the inside move. His brother Kevin equally will want the win. Everybody wants to win here.
Yeah, there is a reason why they call it the Magic Weekend, and it's just such a fantastic place to be. It's one of the best tracks in the world, and to be the person who is on the top step is what everyone wants, and it's just incredible.
I wonder if there's extra pressure on the Swedes or even the Scandinavians in general. I mean, the thing is, the pressure's high in a World Championship anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, and being at your home event, there is definitely going to be that added pressure.
Engines are firing up. Cars are getting ready to roll down into the pre-grid. Another tyre warm before his semi-final time, then it's fight. The top three will go through. The bottom three will be going home. We've got some epic racing still to come. Don't go anywhere. From Holjes in Sweden, we are here for round 6 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship 2019. Semi-finals are coming up. We can hear the cars already doing their pre-launches and rolling down to the grid. We've got some big names who haven't made it. We've got some big names who have to fight like mad to come back from the back of the grid and make it up. Timmy Hansen somehow rescued this weekend. We've had torrential rain. We've had some bright sunshine. We've had a crowd of 48,000 plus people here this weekend. It is the magic weekend. This is the one they all want to win. My name's Andrew Coley. Dan Rook joins me on CoComs. Neil Cole is reporting from the paddock and the pre-grid. This is how qualifying stands as we reach the semi-final point. So your top 16 score points, of course. Andreas Backerud has taken his second TQ of the year, but it's Sebastian Eriksson with a brilliant performance to be P2. He's going to be pole in semi-final 2. Can't wait to see what he can do. Kevin Hansen on the front row with Backerud. Nitish on the front row with Eriksson. So we've got 2 wildcards on the front row of semi-final 2. Timmy Hansen will be on row 2. Gronholm, Abrings made it. Bachuska, Markland, Baumanis, Eriksson, Kevin, and Kallio Koski. So I think we've got 4 or 5 drivers who are not permanent drivers who've made it to the semis. That's how they split. Semi-final 1 is the odds, and semi-final 2 is the evens. Now, Neil Cole was down on the pre-grid Backerud a minute ago. Earlier on, before they were getting into the cars, he caught up with Reinis Nitish. So let's hear from the Latvian.
Reinis, it's great to see you in the semi-finals here in Holjes, but the car bears the scars of what happened yesterday. Talk us through what happened.
It was roll, you know, as simple as it is. First roll in my career, and still you can see all the scratches on the car, which was not, I don't know how fixable, yeah. But still the car is running fine. Technically, it's working well, and now we have a first row for semi-final. Long time I haven't been in this position, and for sure I'm a bit stressful. But we take a start, and then we try to do our job.
And to come back, you know, in a one-off event after a little while away, to come to Holjes with this field, to do as well as you're doing after roll, you must be very pleased with what you've done so far.
I am, and you know, I have done good job, and also team is working flat out to helping me to get in the rhythm quickly. Today Q3 was first time ever with Hyundai on wet, and I think I did it okay. Still we need some more speed, but I think now it will come.
Good luck. Thanks, Reinis.
Thank you.
Here we go then, semi-final time. Are these the most important semi-finals of the year? Holjes is the one they all want to win. Only 3 from each are going to go through. Here's the grid for semi-final number 1. Andreas Backerud, the TQ man, with Kevin Hansen next to him. Kevin right at the sharp end of the World Rallycross standings. Andreas Backerud desperately trying to close that gap down. They've both got several new tyres. Look, Andreas only missing 1 new boot. Row 2, Timmy Hansen. Tough to be on the inside here on row 2. What's he going to do? Will he go Joker first lap? It's going to depend what happens in front. He's got new tyres for it. Abrings done a brilliant job. And row 3, Anton Marken really wants to avenge what happened last time out in Norway. Kevin Eriksson, can he go round the outside from P6? You wouldn't bet against him. Here we go. Thumbs up. Look at the crowd in the background. It's like that round this whole race. We are ready to go. Oh, there's a good Hansen on the main lap.
So we got 3 through the Joker, 3 through the standard lap. What can the guys in the Joker do to pick up and try and find the pace on the up back to the normal guys? But it's Timmy Hansen who's in the front of those guys. We know he's not slow, so can he get on the back?
Oh, backwards, gone super sideways and wide in the bottom of the hill. Going to go defensive on the brakes up into that last corner. Kevin Hansen having a look up the inside. It's Abring who's on the back of this group. Dan, for me, now it's about whether you hang on out there and push for a gap, or do you go straight away and cover off the guys behind? Is anyone going to go Joker? I thought Abring might, but he doesn't, and Timmy Hansen is already there.
Yeah, Timmy's already got the gap to Andreas with a 2.5 seconds back to him. We think that the difference is roughly 3 seconds. So Andreas needs to tidy it up. He needs to find more speed if he wants to get the win.
Kevin Hansen's looking up the inside. Andreas runs wide. Maybe he's got a problem. Kevin Hansen's gone straight through up the inside unchallenged. Backwards, going backwards. Kevin Abring's gone through as well. So Andreas backward has dropped to P3. The dream's over here, I'm sure of that, because Hansen's going to eat him alive up over the jump. What's wrong with backwards car? He's got a problem again. Timmy gives him a little nudge. He won't hit him too much. You'll get a penalty. He's going to go wound. Timmy, I don't think, realised that backward was struggling there.
No, but you can just see he's dropped all the way to the back now. He's got a massive problem with the car.
Edoc's fastest lap of the day goes to Kevin Hansen. Down the conditions are superb.
Yeah, we started off the day with rain, but there is no problem anymore. It's dust flying around the whole circuit, and we're going as the fastest we've been all weekend.
Kevin Hansen's got a 3.4 gap back to Timmy Hansen now, so with Kevin being released, Timmy's got to try and catch up. Abring, what do you think about Abring's chances of joking and making it through to the final? What can he do?
I think Abring is going to need a bit more of a gap to Markland. He's dropped off the back of Kevin Hansen, but he needs to push a little bit more if he wants to make the final.
So this has worked out for Kevin with Andreas' problem and Timmy getting held up behind him in the hairpin. That's cost Timmy a couple of seconds. He was within striking distance. Kevin goes Joker. Fastest out of the day, Kevin Abring. Abring's fighting for his chances. He flies the jump big and long. Kevin Hansen going to try and shut the door on Timmy. Cogs out between the brothers. Kevin in front of Timmy. Timmy will look up the inside over the crest. The number 21 passes his brother. Kevin inside on the way into Velodrome. They're side by side. Smokes the tyres up. Kevin's back underneath him again. Timmy Hansen follows him down the hill. Unbelievable stuff.
There is no team tactics here, is there? They're letting the brothers fight, and that's what we want to see. The top two in the championship are going head to head, and they're not giving each other any room.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. Timmy trying to find tracks to get alongside Kevin again. You ride on board now with Timmy Hansen. He led the standings by a point coming here. Kevin took that back off and leads by a point now. Abring's gone Joker if they held each other up too much. Kevin Abring going to try and split the two Peugeots. Where's he slot in? Side of Timmy Hansen. Kevin Abring looking for P2. Going to try and get row 2. Timmy Hansen drops back to third. Outstanding from Abring.
Yeah, fantastic job by ES Motorsport. They saw the battle going on behind and they knew they had to get him in whilst he had the time to do it.
Absolutely brilliant. Kevin Hansen here putting himself in a position to maybe go through to the front. He qualified third, so if Ericsson wins his semi, then Kevin will be on the outside. Timmy gives Abring a nudge. 2 nudges. He's got in trouble for that before. Going to go up the inside of Kevin Abring. Abring going to try and hold on for third. What do you think about that, Dan?
I think that's definitely a bit of a risky move there. Push on the way in and then halfway around the corner again. He needs to rein himself back a bit here. Maybe Timmy's getting the red mist.
Stewards have been harsh here. Timmy Hansen could be looking at a penalty. If they give him 5 seconds, he might drop out, but they may just switch the positions back. At the minute, though, it's Kevin Hansen who is out front and untroubled. Kevin Abring pressuring Kevin's older brother Timmy. Here comes the younger Hansen now, the yellow squad down to the bottom of the hill. Through the right-hander, Timmy's chasing him. Contentious move on Abring, but Kevin Hansen comes around the last corner. Brilliant fight with his brother. Great to see them fight. It's Kevin Hansen who wins semi-1 from his brother Timmy and Kevin Abring P3. The crowd like that, I loved it.
God, that was absolutely fantastic. What an effort by Kevin Hansen, not letting Timmy by.
I want to see them race, and we spoke to Kenneth earlier this weekend. He said, look, you know, we told them they raced, backward. I can't help but feel a bit sorry for backward. TQ again, and clearly a problem with the car again. He had a problem in the UK with the handbrake.
Yeah, absolutely gutted. It just doesn't seem to have the drive, does it? You can't see visibly any problem with the car, so it must be an engine problem or transmission.
And this is going to hurt him too. He closed the championship gap down, Dan. Now he doesn't make it through, and Kevin and Timmy do. So the Backer Blues are gutted. They give him a big round of applause, and I can't help but feel sorry for him. He pitches the car sideways anyway. So Kevin Hansen wins from Timmy Hansen. Kevin Aspring gets third, but there was a little nudge there. Will the stewards have a look at that? We'll have to see. Kevin Eriksson, Anton Markland, and Andreas Backrud will go no further. Kevin Hansen has finished the final in first place, and he is with Neil Cole now.
Kevin, incredible drive there, including quite a battle with your brother, but you came out on top.
Yeah, I got a big hit when I came from the Joker. I think it was Ericsson or someone, but we saved it. It was lucky. Dan to bring it home to a P1 is really good. I think Timmy was second. So yeah, really good. We did the best we could, and I think we are in the final, so that feels really good. I was really happy with my run, so feeling very, very happy.
Well done, Kevin.
Thank you.
Take another look at this then. What a fantastic first semi-final. There's the contact. But Kevin Hansen had about 3 different bits of contact on the run to turn 1. Timmy went Joker straight away. Mark went with those guys had planned that early, Dan.
Yeah, so they set themselves up on the way out of turn 1. They knew they had cars on their inside, so it's better to just brake a bit later and go for the Joker lap and not lose any time trying to go standard.
Backrud was pretty sideways here, but at this point we didn't necessarily think he was slow. But by now we can see you're on board with Timmy. He will have seen Andreas run wide there, and he'll know what's going on ahead of him. I don't know when Kevin Aspring got past. So that was where Timmy got held up, and that actually was what gave Kevin the gap to be more comfortable.
Yeah, so Kevin then took advantage and went for the Joker lap, but it was only just enough. They came out side by side. We were right on board with Timmy, I believe, for the merge here.
Look at this, Kevin on the right, into the door, have some of that. He then knows he's going to go inside, but Kevin's lit it up over the crest. Going to go inside again on the way into Velodrome. Here it is from the outside. Look at this. Absolutely no quarter given. That is what we want to see.
Yeah, Kenneth has said there's no racing orders. We're going to let them fight.
That's how you do no team orders, other motorsport. That's how you do no team orders. This is Kevin Aspring, and I have to say, brilliant lap by him. We saw him fly the jump hard, and then he says, get in there, up the inside. You know, gives Timmy Hansen the sort of treatment we'd expect from a Rallycross pro. This is only his second event at World Championship level.
Yeah, he's not quite used to the rough and tumble, but he's getting stuck in.
Brilliant, brilliant job by Kevin Aspring. Hansen did get past him. We wonder if there'll be an investigation, but Kevin Hansen took the win. Okay, well, there you go. Semi-final number 1 was as exciting as we thought it might be. I'm losing my voice, but that is the 61st race we've commentated this weekend. So I hope you enjoyed it at home, guys, and I hope we can hold out for another few minutes. Got 3 more races to go. I'm sure we'll get there. Crowd enjoying it. They're enjoying the sunshine now. It's absolutely packed around the outside of Holjes. There you go. We're right up at the far end. That camera is about halfway down the track, so you can see the crowd there. Happy Street is over to your left, behind the white tent. Cars and things are parked up ready to... There'll be a race out of here at about 3:40 because the queues to get out are unbelievable. Caravans, buses, bendy buses from the airport. Everything is here. Motorhomes. If you're sensible, you came on a motorbike. That's the only way to get out quickly. Right, let's go again, Dan. Take a look at this.
Yeah, so Kevin Hansen seemingly going backwards off the start and Timmy up his inside. And then 4 into turn 1 didn't quite go, but no one off into the gravel, and then splitting the strategy, 3 of them off into the Joker and 3 onto the standard lap.
So Timmy led the 3 who'd gone Joker. Kevin Eriksson, there wasn't really a lot that he could do from there. Timmy Hansen, it's interesting, when you're on that inside of row 2 and you can't get out, normally that's a problem, but because the Joker here goes off to the right in turn 2, he knew he'd have that option, because he knew Backrud was going to try and go standard lap straight away.
Yeah, it was the perfect opportunity for him to dip in and be the first person into the Joker lap.
So at this point he must know Backrud's got a problem, or maybe he thinks he's made a mistake. So he slots in behind him here fact, he hits him twice, but I don't blame him for that, because I think at that point, and he didn't realise how much Andreas was struggling, but this was epic.
Yeah, so Timmy giving Kevin a tap, and Kevin running a bit wide, but there's no problem with that. That was just Joker merge, and then Kevin giving it back up the inside, making Timmy go the long way. He's in the dust, can't get the traction, and Kevin has just driven past him again.
Sideways down the hill, so committed through there. Now, Kevin Abring hadn't Jokered at this point, and he must have put in a reasonable lap. Obviously, they will have lost a little bit of time, so here's Abring having Jokered. Now, Dan, this is the only thing that okay, under investigation. I thought so. Contact between Timmy Hansen and Kevin Abring is under investigation.
And we are about to watch the incident now on board with Timmy, so we'll see first bit of touch there. And again, big hit there.
He's going to get pushed into pass. I'm confident, looking at the way the stewarding has been done this year, I think he's going to get pushed into pass. And Dan, I don't know that he wouldn't have been better just to hold on and stay P3.
Yeah, I mean, maybe apply the pressure and just see if Kevin were to crack under it.
The difficulty is knowing what the stewards do. So as a general rule, we've got another one. So 196 and 92, that's Mark Ericsson. That doesn't matter so much. Okay, so controversy, not unusual. Absolutely incredible action from semi-final number 1. We've got another one of those coming up, so tighten those belts. I'm imagining this might be just as exciting. Semi-final 2 grid is being completed. We've got an investigation in semi-final 1 for the contact between Timmy Hansen and Kevin Abring that saw Timmy reclaim the 2nd position. Are the stewards going to step in? We'll let you know. Last of the cars rolling up to the grid for this. 2 wild cards on the front row, and there's one of them. Sebastian Eriksson led here in the final on his World RX debut in 2014, the first time the World Championship was hosted at Holjes. We've been here every year since, sixth time we're here. Rainy Snittish, his 2nd event of the year. He rolled it in Q1. We thought he was done. He's on the front row in semi-final 2. Here we go then, the full lineup. Sebastian Eriksson and Rainy Snittish. Eriksson's got new boots as well. This is on. Row 2, Niklas Granholm, we know how rapid he is. Baciuska wants to prove his pace. And row 3, Yanis Baumanis and Jiri Kaliakowski, the star teammates. Kaliakowski on his World Championship debut. Right, here we go again. Is this going to be as exciting as semi-final 1? Are we going to see the wild cards go through? There's 3 of them in here. Good start, Nitish and Eriksson. Eriksson going to hold the inside line down to turn 1. Granholm was smashing it up inside Baciuska. Oh, 4 cars, 5 cars wide into the grapple. Baciuska. Eriksson leads on the standard lap. Nitish goes with him. Granholm leads into the Joker. Baumanis has gone there.
Fantastic start for Sebastian Eriksson. That's just what he needed to get out the front and get away. We saw the pace of him in Q4. I really want to see him be able to challenge in the final here.
Andreas Eriksson said, we've said it several times this week, and if you've been watching qualifying, he had a list of things to improve on that car. Danny's come into this championship. It's the World Championship, and it's proven to have absolutely front-running pace. This is brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And it's not exactly like Sebastian's had lots of seat time recently either. He's he maybe done the odd folk race and come in and he's leading the semi-final.
A bit of RX on ice, so hasn't he, in the RX2 cars, but the dream for him would be to get that victory that he was so close to getting in 2014. Driving again for MSC, wasn't it? He broke the car over the big curbs on the inside of the right-hander at the bottom of the hill. At the minute, 4 cars, not joking. Kaliakowski is falling back into the clutches of Granholm, and Granholm's all over the back of him. So Granholm in P4, rear of your shot there, is all over the back of Kaliakowski, and will be desperate to find a way by, because that's going to be handing a big lead to Eriksson. And at this point, he hooked the curb there. That's where he broke the car in 14. Yeah. Kaliakowski's gone. Kaliakowski ran wide.
Well, so Kaliakowski gone. That's released Granholm to try and bring down the gap to Eriksson. But will Eriksson go to the Joker lap now, knowing that Granholm's been held up?
So Eriksson goes standard lap. Behind him, though, Baciuska's going to go Joker. So Baciuska, aware of the fact that they've been held up behind, He's not going to get Gronholm though. Gronholm comes past his bell, man is going to squeeze through as well. He does. So Baciuszka did the right thing, but it was just slightly too late.
Yeah, he just didn't quite have the pace to leapfrog these two guys, but it's a shame for him. I think he caught a track mark as well, so he could be looking at a time penalty.
Ericsson leads from Nitish by 1.1 seconds. Gronholm though is 3.4 back, so that's another couple of tenths, but of course he was held up a little bit. So we think the Joker's under 3. You're on board now with Sebastian Ericsson. Look at the way he leans forward. Look at the look on his face. He's grabbing this car by the scruff of his neck. On the bar, into the left-hander, pulls another gear. Joker for Nitish. Nitish has gone Joker. Gronholm's going to get him. Is he going to hold on to P3? Nitish is going to slot across and block Baciuszka. Good call from GRX.
Yeah, fantastic job there, getting Nitish to secure his place momentarily in the semi-final. So GRX looking to get another car up there in the grid.
Well, at the minute they've got 2 cars going through. It's all about whether or not they've got enough time to catch up with Ericsson. The gap is 3.1. A Joker takes about 3. Gronholm's on a mission to try and close him down. Look how hard he's trying in the background. Massive jump. Niklas Gronholm round the left-hander. What's it going to be? Look at the gap as they cross the line. It was 3.1 and it's 3.0. He's closing him down. They've got to send Ericsson. Surely they're going to send Ericsson. They do. Sebastian Ericsson responds into the Joker lap now. This row on the front row in the final going to come through. Gronholm's got him. Niklas Gronholm's got him. Brilliant lap from Gronholm. Ericsson has a look on the inside of the curve. Going to have a look again on the run into Velodrome. Can't find a way through. Gronholm's in the lead.
Yeah, Ericsson there now just absolutely hounding the pressure on Gronholm. He's all over the back of him. Is he going to be able to have a look up the inside after the jump? We might see another dive up the inside.
He made a move there earlier this weekend. Don't put it past him. Look at the handbrake. Gronholm sideways. Ericsson's almost off the side of the jump. He's putting a load of pressure on the fin. We've got another lap to go. They've all jokered. So this is about trying to find a way through. Dan, you hold on for second place. You'd be on the outside of turn 1. That's not the worst place to be on row 2 in the final.
No, but he is going to desperately want that front row. That's where everyone wants to be. And he is going to have to push really hard now. He's got about half a lap to try and make up that difference.
Baciuszka with a little mistake off the jump. Nitish 2.6 off the lead. Gronholm, my goodness me, what a drive. Niklas Gronholm came back last time, didn't he, in Norway? Did an unbelievable job in qualifying. I know he got the win there, but we know Niklas doesn't count that. It's not a win when you don't get to stand on the top step of the podium. He runs wide! Sebastian Ericsson up the inside. Mistake from Gronholm in the second to last corner. Sebastian Ericsson takes semi-final number 2. Gronholm P2. P3 goes to Nitish. Oh, fantastic racing. The crowd loved it. You heard the roar when Ericsson went through. But Gronholm has forked his way up in that one. Don't forget, Gronholm was on row 2, so don't bet against Gronholm in the final.
I think he had a puncture there as he came through the right-hander.
Oh, my goodness me. I didn't think this weekend can get any better. I really didn't. The thing is, we've come into the final stages not knowing how quick everyone is down because the weather and the conditions have been so random.
Yeah, and not everybody's going to have the right setup they want for the weekend either. It's such a varied conditions that no one's going to be able to find that sweet spot.
Kaliakowski on his World Rallycross debut, done plenty of rallycross, takes P5. Here's the result. Sebastian Ericsson wins from Gronholm at the last corner. Nitish P3, Baumanis, Kaliakowski and Baciuszka are out. Sebastian Ericsson is with Neil Cole now, and I imagine he's going to be pretty pleased.
Sebastian, the only Swede in semi-final 2, and you've put yourself on the front row for the final. Well done.
That's perfect. I was a little bit lucky there with Niklas' problems. I got some problems myself. It's overheating a little bit, so I lost a lot of power on the end. So I need to go back now and try to cool it down for the final.
I'll get it fixed. Thank you.
Off the line then, Kaliakowski at the back of the grid. This is on board riding into turn 1. Sebastian Ericsson getting the whole shot. So we must be, I think, with Nitish. We are, yeah. Over the crest, look at that. A little bit of contact for Kaliakowski, maybe some damage there. Baciuszka was in the gravel. Gronholm's gone Joker straight away, and that looks to me from the line he took to have been a picked strategy. That was crucial, wasn't it?
Yeah, he desperately had to get past Kaliakowski there to get himself up. Otherwise, Ericsson would have no problem getting past him in the Joker.
rapid entry into the... Look at the number of inputs to change the angle of the car on the entry.
Yeah, it's just tiny little inputs they have to put in. If they put in one big input, you can very easily over-rotate and lose time. So tiny inputs, just enough to get you to that point.
Sebastian Eriksson is so committed through that joker. We've seen the penalties people have been getting, but he's so committed. This is Nitish looking at them and thinking, come on lads, go on, knock each other off, go on, have it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted to see his teammate being taken out, but at the same time, he would have wanted to have moved up onto the front row.
Here's the view from outside the car. Sebastian Eriksson thinking I might be able to grab the place back. And then here, that was Bachuska making a massive lunge. I don't think we saw that, did we?
I mean, there was dirt flying as well, so maybe he had two wheels on the inside and just lost control.
This was the second to last corner. Yeah, I think you're right, front right locked, didn't it? So maybe the front left gone, but either way, Gronholm holds on, he makes it, and he nearly won the semi from row 2. Can he win the final from there? Eriksson's going to be on the front, though. Oh, man, I need a little break. We're nearly there. 2 races to go. European Rallycross Championship for Supercar coming up next, and then the final around 6 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. I don't know what to say really, Dan. I mean, it has delivered, hasn't it? You know, semi-final. What's nice is the semi-finals haven't been ridiculous. Interesting. Semi-final 1, 21 and 24, no further action. So Timmy Hansen and Kevin Abbring will not be swapped around. They've allowed the move. Good stuff. Fair enough. They've looked at it. Right, Euro RX final coming up. This is what happened in the semis. Robin Larsson on pole in semi-final 1. Munich looking in the middle of a big squeeze in the run up to the first corner. Ikonen with a little bit of contact ended up running wide, and that played into Hedstrom's hands beautifully.
Yeah, Dubourg there getting caught up with Ikonen, and Hedstrom then able to capitalise and shot himself up the inside.
You wait till you see semi-final 2. The other Dubourg with even more action. This that limiter over the jump for Larsson. He hasn't been untouchable this weekend because he didn't win every session. He missed out on Q2, but he was only second, and it was only by 7/10 of a second. So he's missed the clean sweep so far by 7/10 of a second, but the most important race, of course, is still to come, and Larsson is going to be desperate to win the final. He won the semi-final by a massive margin. It was something like 5 seconds, wasn't it? So, yeah, outrageous. Not even close at the merge.
Yeah, a staggering performance by Larsson. He's really stepped up because he has big send into the joker lap, just the same as he does in Norway. Clipping the curb quite heavy there and a bit of rotation, but you can see the gap behind him. They're not even challenging.
No, he's just super comfortable. Took the win. Very nicely done indeed by Larsson. And it was Dubourg and Hedstrom who came through for P2 and P3. Semi-final 2, watch this. Andrea Dubourg in the middle of the pack here. Runs out wide, crosses the gravel trap, and look at this hit. Enormous. Walfridson comes to almost a full stop in turn 2. Here, watch it from the outside and see the deceleration on Walfridson here. Hard hit. Now, if you see the outside of Dubourg's car, we're pretty sure that the cage would have been bent. Have a look at this, panels flying off. You might get a side shot, but it doesn't matter anyway, Dan.
No, because the stewards looked into the first corner incident there, and they have decided to disqualify Dubourg for an unsafe return to the track.
I think that's fair enough. I mean, I'm not convinced he could have returned to the track safely anyway from where he was, but you can't just pile out across the line of turn 1 in the final. So it was Pontus Tiedemann who went through to take the checker flag. Dubourg, as I say, DQ'd. And that means that Karai and Pleskavas go through from semi-final number 2. So it's Larsson, JB Dubourg and René Munich, Tiedemann, Karai and Pleskavas. And plenty of guys in there who won't mind getting stuck in. Crowd are looking forward to it. 2 to go. Holjes, Holjes. We've had we're chanting. We've had the Holjes Rallycross song. Oh, we've had action all weekend on and off the track. It's a brilliant event, this. European Rallycross Championship for Supercars coming up. There they are, treated to sunshine for this final race. Larsson, the winner of the last 2 rounds. So Robin Larsson on the pole with Pontus Tiedemann alongside. Row 2, JB De Borg and Tamas Karai. And row 3, Rennie Munich and Holjes Pleskavas. Swedish front row, either of these two would love to take the win at home. A little clear of the revs there. So you'd have to have your money on Larsen with the launch, considering the difference in the spec of the two cars, but Tiedemann drove brilliantly in Semi 2. And Tiedemann's got a good start, but Larsen pulls away as he finds the traction. JB De Borg trying to look up the inside of Tiedemann. Tiedemann runs wide, he's in the gravel. Drops down to P3, goes Joker. Well done, Tiedemann, to force from where he was outside down to get into the Joker first was amazing.
Yeah, very good move there, and had to be forceful if he wanted to get himself on the inside on the way into the Joker. Otherwise, he would have lost out on a place there. So great job by him. Now he's got that clear track to try and chase down Larsen.
Larsen leading from JB De Borg. JB De Borg at the minute is in P3 in the standings, and of course Brinton hasn't made it through to the final, so JB De Borg here I think is going to be able to move up to second in the standings, but he could do with beating Larsen, but at the minute for me Dan Larsen is looking, I mean I don't want to give the commentators curse, but he's a step above the others.
Yeah, he is on absolutely crazy good form at the moment, isn't he? And he's almost untouchable. The package of him and the car and the team, it all works really well together, and they're putting in the consistent results.
We saw great fights last year, didn't we, in Euro? I think it was Cyril Raymond, it was Anton Markland.
Yeah,
exactly, and they've all stepped up to world again. Okay, Nittish not full-time, but you know, Larsen's kind of made the move across to Euros, and he's at that level too. As we had a conversation earlier on today about drivers we'd love to see in the World Championship. I'm grateful to see them in Euro, but you know, Larsen, he's just a weapon.
Yeah, he definitely deserves a place in the full-time World Championship, but of course the same with a lot of drivers out there. Budget issues means he can't compete in the full championship.
Good to see JB De Borg back on pace as well. He's had a podium at Loiac home race in the World Championship before. You know, he's had a couple of rough years, I think, where we haven't seen him performing at his best. And I think that's Pleskavas who's gone Joker. It is indeed, but he gets eaten up by everyone who's Jokered already, so who's at the front there? 3.3 Tiedemann. Tiedemann's only 3.3 off the back of Larsen.
Yeah, so Tiedemann's lap time on the last lap was a tenth faster than Larsen, and in that first section there, he took 4 tenths out of Robin Larsen as well.
So it was back up to 3.5, so Larsen taking another couple of tenths back, but this is seesawing, and Dan, the spotters will be watching exactly what you're watching.
Yeah, so we've got this timing screen where we got section times from 3 points along the track, and we can see it fluctuating up and down. Of course, the spotters need to know what that gap is when they come over the first corner.
De Borg goes Joker now. Tiedemann, I think, may get De Borg here. He's going to. De Borg gets on the gas, but Tiedemann's got enough. So Tiedemann is up level with Larsen. Look at the flames out the back of the beetle. Pontus Tiedemann going for the win at home for Sweden. World Rally Championship driver who came to World Rallycross with EKSRX. I think it was Norway, was it, when they debuted, and Tiedemann was one of the drivers. Did some brilliant performances, but this would be an epic one, but it's 3.9 now the gap, and if you were Larsen, would you go?
Yeah, I mean, he's got the time to go now. He may as well go in and out, and then that means if he were to make a mistake, he can then capitalise on the remaining laps he has left.
So Larsen's going to stay up with the standard lap, 3.9 seconds the gap. Hearing from race control, Tiedemann may have touched one of the markers in the Joker, but we don't know if he's got any warnings from earlier on in the weekend or not, so Larsen over the crest, the car up on its tiptoes, then four-wheel drifting through. He's just screaming those Cooper tyres.
Gap gone up to 4.1 now, so maybe Robin's been told he needs to have a big push.
I think Robin's having a big showboat. You know when Larsen's chucking it about, and he's chucking it about here. His grandstand of his supporters is right over the last hairpin. Larsen through that corner. He's got a Joker on this lap. Here we go. Watch for Larsen with a spectacular Joker. Absolutely sideways. Oh my goodness me. You don't get any more committed than that. When you're that far in front, you might as well, I'll tell you what, I'll take it steady. Not Robin Larsen. They're going mad in his grandstand to the left of the commentary position. It has been a masterclass. I say he's missed the clean sweep by 7/10 of a second when he lost Q2 to Hedstrom. The weather there, though, was carnage. It's been a brilliant, brilliant performance. He won round 1 in the UK. He won round 2 in Norway, but this is the one that means the most. He gets on the handbrake. Larsen makes it 3 from 3 at home. Holjes in Sweden. And it's a Swedish 1-2 as Tiedemann crosses the line. showboating, wasn't he, for the last 2 laps, and that's a mark of the level of confidence, Dan. You're right, you just don't do that, do you, unless, there you go, there they are. Robin Larsson takes the win from Tiedemann. Swedish 1-2, JB de Borg in 3rd. That might see him up into 2nd in the standings, I think. That is Karai, Munich and Pleskavas.
So have a look at the start here. Robin Larsson, Munich shooting straight to the inside. Robin getting the perfect start, and Tiedemann actually not really getting the best of starts, but then shooting himself off into the Joker lap, and we're going to watch to see if he catches a marker. Yeah, a big push on the marker there.
So it would depend, wouldn't it, Dan, how much he's done that this weekend, because what we see, what our understanding is that the rule is 1 warning, 1 5-second penalty, 1 DQ.
I mean, I think I have seen a warning come up for him before. I mean, don't hold me to that, but we've seen lots of warnings, so it's hard to tell who has had one.
Either way, though, it's not going to affect Larsson, is it? And I mean, that's just, OK, nowhere near as easy as the semi-final, and rightly so. He's come up against the other side of the drawing, you know, those that have gone through from the other semi-final, but just an epic drive. Look at this.
Yeah, he's just driving within himself, it seems, isn't it? He's out there having a bit of fun, bit of sideways everywhere. This is the big send into the Joker. He nearly went a bit too far with it, but managed to pull it off, and he managed to come through, and he took the win at home.
Championship standings then. Larsson leads on 90 points, a perfect 90. JB de Borg and Thomas Brinterson are equal in 2nd place, but de Borg gets it because he's taken the better result at the latest round. Pontus Tiedemann is in 4th. I tell you what, Tiedemann might be thinking about finishing off the season at this rate. Track markers warning we're hearing for Tiedemann, so that's that means the result will stand, so that's good. Just a warning for him. De Borg in 5th, Munich 6th, Eakin in 7th, and Karai in 8th. There's Larsson on top of the car. Always has a brilliant crash helmet design. I don't know what this year's one is, but he's had all sorts of people from the Avengers on there. He had Iron Man on there 1 year. Fantastic drive. Heat haze over the crowd. They were on their feet for Larsson, and I've got a feeling they're going to be on their feet for this. There's 1 race left to go at Holjes. So it all comes down to this. We've had so much racing this weekend, so many ups and downs in terms of the weather and people's performances, punctures and disqualifications. But we have just the 1 race left to go. Dan Rook, I can't wait for this.
This is going to be the big one, isn't it? The Swedes fighting it out for the victory at home, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. The pace between all the drivers is so close. It's going to be down to who can be the most consistent through the race, not make any mistakes, and ultimately show the speed.
Nitish and Gronholm, I don't think there'll be any team orders between them, because of course Gronholm's championship's kind of talking to Gronholm. Oh, Marcus Gronholm's on the grid with Kenneth Hansen and Neil Cole. So there we go. Let's hear from 2 legends.
Now we've got the big issue of the final of the supercars here at Holjes, but a lot of people were very happy to see you both put racing suits on again and race against each other. Marcus Gronholm and Kenneth Hansen in the cross karts. Talk us through what it felt like to race against Marcus.
Yeah, it felt very good to be back in Holjes, and it felt very good. But when on the practice, I was passed by one of the youngsters, so I understood that the speed wasn't enough, so I was a little bit rusty.
And Marcus, you got to the final, but then what happened?
Yeah, I was in the final, but the speed was not enough. Driving style for the cross kart was not okay. I was driving like a rally car, which was not okay. So, but okay, good.
And of course, you've both got horses in this final. You've both got sons in this final. How can you have a renewed respect for what your boys are doing in these supercars?
Yeah, I mean, we know from the inside how it is to race here, and we know it's so enjoyable, of course, in many tracks, but this is special. And for Timmy and Kevin, we like to race them, as we saw in the semi-final, and of course, it's really, really fun.
And I just saw Nicholas, and he looked like he was beating himself up a little bit after that semi-final. How do you make sure he's in the right mindset for the final?
No, the best thing is that I stay away, then he's okay.
Well, it's great to see you both together, and good luck to both of you in the final.
I love that. The best thing is that I stay away, says Marcus Gronholm. No. Maybe that's why he watches these races from a distance. So Sebastian Eriksson having taken that win with just 2 corners to go, finds himself on pole in the final. He out-qualified Kevin Hansen in the qualifying stages, which is why he ends up on the inside. Kevin Hansen was on the outside, of course, of Andreas Baccarat in semi-final 1. It didn't go so well for Baccarat, and Neil Coles managed to find him down on the pre-grid.
Andreas, I know you must be very disappointed. You should, by rights, be in this final. What happened in the semi?
Well, I had a very good start, and it all felt very good. All of a sudden, I started feeling drive shaft broke, unfortunately. It's meant to be, isn't it? Like we have had overdoses now, I feel, and we work extremely hard. And it would be nice to give RX Cartel, Audi, and EKS, and all our partners a win. So it feels. It is hard right now, to be honest. Like, but yeah, you win and you lose, and this time we lost. So
now you get to watch this final. Who do you think is going to win?
I don't care.
Bad luck. Thank you.
Well, Andreas Baccarat doesn't care, and I can understand that. He's just gutted, isn't he? He's gutted he's not in this one, and I think he feels like there's a monkey on his back, doesn't he, in terms of taking that win. He hasn't had a win since Argentina 16. He was so close in France last year. He was so close in the UK this year. It's just, you got to feel for him a bit, definitely. Reinis Nitish has been quick, but finds himself on the back row in the final. I think he'd be pleased to make the final. Kevin Abbring will be too. 2 events, and he's made the final at both. That's a 100% record. Timmy Hansen firing himself up. Big old fight to come. Here's the grid then for the final of round 6 of the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship. Sebastian Eriksson wants to avenge that retirement in 2014 when he led this event. Can he do it here? Kevin Hansen next to him. Timmy Hansen on the inside of row 2. I reckon he'll go joker from there, but we'll have to see what happens in turn 1. Niklas Gronholm next to him. And on the back row, Gronholm's teammate Reinis Nitish and Kevin Abbring. Nothing for them to lose. Oh, wow. I am so fired up for this, and I know these guys will be too. Get on your feet, people. Here we go. Holjes, the one they all want to win. It comes down to the next 6 laps. Oh, it's an even start. Gronholm's got a great start. Going to go around the outside of Kevin Hansen, trying to go up alongside Sebastian Eriksson. Eriksson's got the whole shot. Gronholm's inside, though. Going to go standard lap, surely. Oh, clips the back. Ends up running wide. Sebastian Eriksson. Care, Timmy Hansen up the inside, and Gronholm's being pushed wide. Has to cut across, and he's going to get a penalty for that for sure. Nitish is next to him, but he won't do anything to his teammate Abbring down at the back of the pack. Oh, disaster for Gronholm.
Yeah, the guys that have done the Joker are already losing time. They had such a fight on the way in that Sebastian and Kevin up in front will have already had that chance to pull a gap.
I would be tempted to joker right now. Sebastian Eriksson has 3.6 over Timmy. Timmy's got clear air in front. If anyone can close that gap down over the next few laps, it's Timmy Hansen. Would you go now? Would you dare to on lap 2?
You've run the risk of letting Kevin Hansen free, though, who's also got pace. There's nothing between Timmy and Kevin, so you've just got to try and wait it out and see what Timmy can do and then try and respond.
Great analysis, Dan Rook, of course, who works as a spotter himself as well as having driven supercar, knows this game from all sides, and he's got his spotter's head on there. Sebastian Eriksson will be desperate to get it done. The gap's up to 3.9. Timmy Hansen through the apex and now super smooth. Kenneth to be on the radio saying keep it tidy, keep pushing.
Yeah, he needs to keep it really tidy. We can see Kenneth there on the radio just saying push, push, keep it calm, don't make any mistakes. And we see Kevin there maybe running a little bit wide, but no, it's not too bad. He's got a good drive off the corner.
Gap's down to 3.7. It was up to 3.9 just a few moments ago. Sebastian Eriksson goes standing up. Kevin goes. This is going to be to protect from his brother. We see they haven't given each other any space at all. Kevin's going to come through. Going to be close to the merge, but Timmy's got him this time. It's down to Timmy Hansen versus Sebastian Eriksson.
Sebastian Eriksson has to go now. He doesn't have any threat from Kevin behind, but he's got the gap at the moment, so he needs to capitalise on that and get in and out and get it done.
Sebastian Eriksson there with a gap of 3.8. Has got to get these next couple of corners perfect, and then he needs the joker of his life if he's to come out in front of Timmy Hansen, one of the World Championships best, and he drops it on the brakes. Kevin
pressure.
Oh, Timmy's out. Sebastian goes Joker. Sebastian Eriksson, fastest lap of the day when he needed it. Over the left curb, over the right. He avoids the markers. He avoids the Armco. He leads with 3 laps to go, Dan.
Yes, he has done what he had to do, and Timmy Hansen dropping behind Reynes now. So Reynes up into a podium position in Holjes after the rolling Q1.
It's unbelievable. You couldn't write it. So at the minute, Kevin Hansen here stands to gain the most in terms of points. But remember, Sebastian Eriksson has been in this position before. There's Andreas Eriksson. He can barely look. He can barely look. He wants to get the spec of this car set and start selling them brand new next year. If you needed an advert for a car, this is an epic one.
Yeah, the car has come back and made the debut in the World Championship, and he is currently leading the final. He's got 1 more lap to go, is it? Or
1.5 to go, 1.5 laps to go, but it's the fact that he lost it, Dan, from this point. What's going through your mind? He was here in 2014, he had this in the bag, he was leading and he hooked the wheel over the curb at the bottom of the hill and he pulled the wheel off, he broke the hub. What do you do? Here we go, we're on board with him now.
He needs to be so careful right now. It's so easy to overdrive the car and make mistakes, but it's also so easy to try and back off when you feel like you're safe and drop back into the clutches. We've got Kevin Hansen is closing down on him.
Are we going to see another Hansen up the inside? Andreas Eriksson, look, he looks so nervous. I've never seen him look so nervous. Sebastian Eriksson has 1 lap to go. Kevin Hansen is all over him, Dan. He's just got to keep it tight. He surely don't make a gap, but Kevin's trying to force one.
Yeah, Sebastian just has to hit all of his braking points and not make any mistakes. He's got to be super, super careful right now.
Just keep the door shut. Do not run wide. Keep the door shut. Sebastian Eriksson won't allow the car to run deep here. Keeps it tight on the inside. Kevin looking for a way past. He's coming down the hill, pulling the gears on the gravel. There's a big bump here. Last chance for a mistake. This is where it all went wrong in 2014, but it's not going to go wrong this year. Sebastian Eriksson, no! Hansen's going up the inside again. Sebastian holds on. He takes his first ever World Championship win under immense pressure. That is a hell of a race. Oh my goodness me, my voice is gone. That's the... Wow, he's done it. It's revenge for 2014. He won't believe it. Andreas Eriksson will be in bits in the spotters tower. Fantastic. I thought Kevin had got him at the last corner. I thought he got him.
Yeah, Kevin went for that lunge. That was all he could do, wasn't it? Was try and get the lunge, but Kevin's happy. He's on the roof. Let's not forget, Kevin's extended his championship lead here as well. So here's Timmy crawling around with a front right puncture.
I think he did it on the curve at the bottom of the hill.
I think it could have been after the jump. I'm not too sure. Maybe in one of those 2 corners. Big hugs there between Kevin and Sebastian.
The thing is, Kevin Hansen will know how much this means. He won a round of Euro here, didn't he? But to win a round of the World Championship for Sebastian Eriksson at home is just the dream result. Sebastian Eriksson takes his debut World Rallycross Championship win at home in Sweden at the legendary Holjes. Kevin Hansen P2 and Reynes Nitish has got a podium. Gronon 4th, Abrink 5th, Hansen is 6th. Andreas Eriksson is with Neil Cole.
Andreas, it looked on paper like a gamble to bring the car here and bring Sebastian, but it's really paid off. Tell us how you feel right now.
I'm very happy, obviously. It was a good race, and we struggled with a lot of problems, and we were almost cancelling the race Monday on the test because we saw after 3 laps we have a big problem. And so you see, we are very fast for 3 laps, and then we have problems with the oil temp, and so the car is not ready yet. But you see, the first 3 laps we're flying away from them. We are faster and straight line than everyone. But unfortunately, Kevin's car didn't make it all the way. It broke in the 4th queue. And Sebastian's car made it all the way, so I'm very happy. So it's been a revenge for me, obviously, to come back, and I have 2 very good drivers and 2 chances to do well, and you know, it's better than 1. So.
And just a quick word about how good Sebastian is.
Yeah, Sebastian is amazing. I mean, all my drivers are amazing, and he's one of them, and I treat them very, you know, equal. They work very hard. All my guys, they work very hard. They do it, you know. We don't have the money, really. They don't have the money. I'm doing everything. I'm putting my own money into this race because I don't have any sponsor for this race. But I wanted to show the car was fast, and the guys decided on the test on Monday, is it fast enough? We go. If it's not fast enough, we stay at home. And it's fast enough, but we'll see. But Sebastian is amazing. of course. I mean, last time we didn't make it, and now we make it.
Well done. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Enjoy the podium.
It's just this place. Kevin Hansen tried so hard. He nearly got to the last corner. We nearly had a hand up the inside, but it is Sebastian Eriksson who has taken the win at Holjes. Cars are in park ferme, but Dan, one car's missing. Please, no more controversy after an event.
Yeah, so Sebastian rode back on the back of Henk's moped, so maybe a problem with the car once it's crossed the finish.
We know that it was overheating, potentially. He said that it had been overheating, didn't he, in the semi-final, and that he'd lost some power. They actually moved, so the cooling package on this car last year was in the front, and that was one of the things which Andreas wanted to change. They've gone back to rear cooling. Now, they would have preferred it in the front for weight, but Andreas said it was giving them heat issues, so that's why they moved it to the back, but seemingly they've still got a couple of heat issues.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the start. If Niklas hadn't run wide in the Joker there, I think we might have seen him in the fight instead of Timmy. But of course, losing out on the run in that first lap.
Yeah, so once Timmy was up his inside, I think Niklas all running really wide there. That's where Reynes got past him. So Gronom maybe had the red mist come over him after the first lap. And he dropped back behind Abring as well.
So this was Kevin in the Joker, and he didn't have enough this time. It was a good Joker from him, and look at that, beautifully slid the car across the end of the arm code. Last time, of course, he managed to get his brother, but it didn't matter because they there. It was off the landing off the jump. Yeah, you saw it exactly the same as with. That's funny. So that's twice now that the Peugeot has punctured on landing. Not with really any steering lock on either.
Yeah, so maybe running a risk with tyre pressures or something, trying to get the maximum out of it, and it's not paying off.
Going on there with a little cut on the inside.
Niklas with a puncher as well on the back left.
Ah, there we go. So that there was so much going on at the front. I can't hide that I'm over the moon for Sebastian Eriksson. You know, I love a new winner, and for him particularly here. What's he done? 3 or 4 World Championship events. Oh my goodness, the finish there. Can you imagine? Being in that car, what would you be thinking at that point with 50 metres to the line?
Oh, I don't know. When you're being pushed like that, he's probably not even thinking. He's probably just got his foot flat to the floor and hoping he can pull himself across the line in front of Kevin.
See Fraser McConnell and Ollie Eriksson down there. Parking Andreas Eriksson, of course, they both run with OMSE in RX2. Crowd are streaming down to the podium, but also back to their cars. Some of them have been here for several days, having quite a good time. And they are now going to head for home. Won't be long before we are doing the same, but we have had a brilliant, brilliant weekend. I hope you guys have at home as well. Podium awaits our winners. Sebastian Eriksson with just a 0.3 of a second win over Kevin Hansen. Here are the driver's standings then. Timmy Hansen came here leading by 1 point. He goes away 6 points behind his brother. Andreas backward on 109. He closed that gap down, and unfortunately for him, it's gone back up as he's missed the final. Niklas Gronom missed events and has moved up, look to 4th place. Gronom is chasing a podium here in the World Championship. Balmanis and Timosyanov dropped down. Doran and Scheider stay where they are. Markland takes the place of Zaro. Shisha at Raymond. Weeman, look, if you add Weeman's points to Gronom's points, that tells you what might have been. Kevin Abring with a brilliant job there. Kevin Hansen is with Neil Cole. Let's go and hear from our P2 man.
Kevin, P2 in Sweden, but it puts you at the top of the championship. Talk us through your final.
Oh, wow, what an afternoon. You know, from the semi, grabbing that win from Andreas and having a big fight with Timmy as well. And then in the final, I had a really bad launch, but I gave it my maximum all the way through. I just got up behind Timmy, I saw, and I was like, yes, good, another Hansen podium. But then he cut in turn 9, had a puncture, and I had to get by right away because I saw he understeered or locked up when he landed. So I got it inside and then pushed like crazy. Sebastian got out ahead. Then it was really slow the last 2 laps. I gave it a try in the end, but, you know, P2 is awesome here in home.
Well done. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you. Cheers.
Enjoy the podium.
Team standings after round 6. Team Hansen MJP on 256, GRX Tanaco on 213. On Monster Energy RS Cartel 185. Then it's GCK Academy and Team Stard. Neil Cole has found Sebastian Eriksson so close in 2014. He's done it in 2019.
Sebastian, Swedish round, Swedish car, Swedish winner. This must feel sweet, especially after what happened in 2014.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a bit of a revenge from 2014 when I was leading and the car broke. But I have to thank the whole team. They have done an impressive job over the whole winter to try to develop the car from last year. Now it works really well. We still have some few small problems that we need to sort, but we can see now that we're clearly on the pace, so it feels good for the future.
But there's no problems with your driving. Your driving's amazing.
No, but actually, I tried my best. I really gave it all today, so I'm lucky to get away as a winner.
Get to the podium, well done.
Thank you.
He's so calm, like having won around the World Championship. That's another new winner. So new winners who we had. We've got Gronholm and Kevin Hansen, admittedly both with the stewards. Timmins Yarnov, who went absolutely bonkers. Sebastian Eriksson, who's had the dream win at home. 6 rounds, 4 new winners, and Timmy Hansen with 2 wins this season. Brilliant, what a season of World RX. Nitish on the podium. Second event of this series on the podium. Oh, I'll tell you what, Bucky Lasek and ARX, if ever there was a case of podium or nodium, Nitish is it. He needs another T-shirt made. He's made a brilliant T-shirt about being on top of Anton Markin's car in Abu Dhabi. He can make another one now. It's a 0 to hero for Nitish. Kevin Hansen, P2. But it is Sebastian Eriksson who wins at home in Sweden. Hats back on after the Swedish national anthem. Look at that, there are no sponsors on his race suit. That tells you all you need to know. Sebastian Eriksson does not have the money to compete in the World Championship, and he's won a round of the World Championship. For events entered versus events won, his percentage is going to be very high indeed. What an impressive young man. They all are.
Yeah, all lots of young drivers all trying to make their way up, and to me, Sebastian is one of the most talented drivers out there, and Reynes as well.
Oh, it's just like, he won't believe it. He'll have been almost in tears, I think, after Q1. He said, didn't he, in his interview, thank you for those who kept my head together for the winning Q2. Come on, yes. Kevin. Good lads. It's a proper celebration, isn't it? You know, the two of these three, they're on one-off outings pretty much.
They got nothing to lose, have they? And they really gave it their all, and they showed their class.
Yeah, everything to win, and they went and won it. They went and took it. Yeah, go on. Photo time for the top 3. Fantastic. Monster Energy girls enjoying the podium as well, but no one enjoying it as much as Sebastian Eriksson on that top step. Holjes and the Magic Weekend. An explosive start, an explosive action all weekend long. Timmy Hansen came in leading the World Championship. His brother gave him absolutely no space, and if they're going to fight to the end of the season, that is what I want to see. Well done, the Hansen family and Hansen MJP, for letting 2 of the best rallycross drivers in the world knock it out of each other in an attempt to lead this brilliant championship. Kalle Okoski was up there. We had so many drivers, Kevin Eriksson, Sebastian Eriksson, people who are not normally in this series. Reynes Nitish on board with him right here up into the velodrome, fighting hard to try and get their place in the final, in the semi-finals even. Gronholm with a great fight here. contact, pressure from behind. Niklas showed his pace. Brilliant job to almost win semi-final 2, but he made that mistake. And of course, it just dropped him back one line. Ericsson took it with 2 corners to go. That stuck him on the front row in front of his home crowd at the Magic Weekend. Kevin Ambring on the back row with Brainis Nittish. That's the view as you go into turn 1 in a 600 horsepower supercar. Carnage in the Joker lap. Gronom runs wide over the top. Nittish somehow manages to find a way through. There it is, the puncture on the back of Gronom's car. His teammate flies past him literally. Kevin Hansen and Timmy Hansen. Timmy having to give up the space with that puncture. There it is, his brother comes through. The World Championship lead is extended. Ambring slotting past as well. Niklas even going through with a puncture on the rear left. The fight out front was epic. Sebastian Eriksson nearly lost it in the last corner, but he didn't. He gets the dream victory at home in Sweden. The Magic Weekend has delivered. We are off to Canada next. Make sure you join us then. What a weekend.